If you've been paying attention to the goings-on in the Bitcoin world in the past week, there have been some interesting developments. One of the most interesting being El Salvador's decision to make Bitcoin legal tender, which is a huge step in the world of crypto. Welcome back to Hot Crypto Desk, your #1 source on YouTube for all your crypto needs. If you're a crypto beginner wondering how to get started in the crypto space, or an experienced hodler and trader looking for that next altcoin that's going to take off, this channel is the one to be subscribed to for the hottest and most insightful content. If you want to know more about what's been happening in the world of Bitcoin recently, keep on watching. We are not financial advisors. Please do your own due diligence before buying anything. Let's get started. The cryptocurrency news was dominated this week by El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender. However, the rollout did not go smoothly and most cryptocurrencies were enveloped in a sea of red. Bitcoin fell by as much as 17%, and Ethereum lost 23%, whilst the altcoin Solana was one of the few that managed gains. These are the top stories that caught our eye. El Salvador has become the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. The government has started building Bitcoin ATMs and has created a $150 million fund to help facilitate exchange between Bitcoin and the US dollar. It also bought 400 Bitcoins, worth roughly $20 million, and said it intended to purchase much more. The move was made in the hope that would increase the number of remittances sent home. El Salvador is highly dependent on money sent by citizens who live and work abroad, hitting almost $6 billion in 2019 and accounting for 16% of GDP. Some argue that it will be cheaper to send money in Bitcoin. But critics fear that it comes at a time where Salvadorans don't know enough about how cryptocurrencies work, and it may accelerate financial crime in a country notorious for corruption. A poll conducted by the Central American University, UCA, found that only 4.8% of respondents understood Bitcoin. And 3 out of 4 Salvadorans were still skeptical about its adoption in July, according to Reuters. Only time will tell how they will adapt to its adoption. Bitcoin starts a new week in a precarious place, below $45,000 and below some key moving averages. So, what's next? Almost a week after a cascade of leveraged position unwinding forced the market to $42,800, Bitcoin has erased most of its subsequent recovery. The weekend produced little by way of a paradigm shift, and now, downside volatility is firmly in place. With BTC/USD down 13% in a week, let's take a look at some things that may help traders to anticipate what the next move could be. Stocks are expected to perform better this week after selling pressure added to Bitcoin's woes in the first half of September. With a red week behind them, expectations are that equities will now rally, continuing a trend that had characterized markets since the coronavirus crash in March 2020. Expecting equities to bounce this week and provide some relief for Bitcoin, Charles Edwards, CEO of investment manager Capriole, forecast. Bitcoin's overall relationship with macro trends has been increasingly called into question over the past year. Nonetheless, shocks to the system continue to influence BTC price action, as evidenced by the Federal Reserve Jackson Hole Virtual Summit earlier in September. On the flip side, strong stocks may serve to keep the strength of the United States dollar in check, something that also gives Bitcoin more room to breathe. A feature that has set last week's price dip environment apart from previous ones is investor behavior. Everyone kept buying. Unlike the panic during episodes such as March 2020, last week saw excess supply dumped onto the market by speculators eagerly bought up by strong hands. Well, that brings us to the end of today's video, all about the latest Bitcoin news. What are your thoughts on the latest happenings? Do you think it's a positive move for the world of crypto in general that El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender? Get involved and let us know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed today's episode and found it interesting, make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Hot Crypto Desk to be kept up to date with the most insightful content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.